slow first week into Major 2 qualifiers. They've completely went back to that team that we saw in the beginning of the season, where they have just been able to compete with the best of them. It's just now going up against this LAT roster. You played them a couple weeks ago, and it was a 3-0. You already have a couple maps that were in originally that series, the first two specifically, and the Vault really didn't treat them well last time.
The case, but again, this feels like a pretty square matchup in terms of an opening map between these two squads, just due to the fact that, yeah, you've got pretty much even results across it in terms of the season thus far, 3-2 versus the 2-2 of Carolina. But it is one of those situations that this is one of those matchups that does feel like it has kind of very easy to read pros and cons. LA has been unbelievable, especially when it comes to rotating and beating teams from hill to hill here on Hardpoint. Whereas for Carolina, their search and destroy has really gotten them through a lot of the nitty gritty series as we jump on into the opening Hardpoint, and Carolina will just try to dive right onto the hill early.
Yeah, Carolina, majority of players already roaming through bottom mid. They find the initial kills and already potentially are going to flip them on out. But they want to put themselves in a position to just soak up a lot of this time here. 30 seconds still to fight for. You're gonna have LAT starting to develop on some routes, trying to find some kills through the middle of the map. They're able to find them. Spawns now flip.
Indeed the case. LA trying to do what they can here to just hold on to the ground that they currently have. But Vivid working on it just a touch. Shut down in LA. Okay, that will do well. 14 seconds to fight for, and like you said, they've got the favorite side.
Now, if you are LA, you have the numbers. You still know that you're trying to locate where one player is. Gwen just going to play his life over towards gold. But now his teammates are shooting. You got to start to put yourself into the play. Unfortunately, he is going to get shot from behind, but the pressure from the teammates at least keeps it mixing from the front end. But LA Thieves have those back spawns right back into B2.
Indeed the case. Looking solid, at least to start for now. Here's the break attempt coming in from the front. Scrap able to deal with the first, trade it out. And that will be enough just for Carolina to hold their ground around Pool. Hydra working on it. Taken down though, and this is going to lead to an opportunity to break it from the front. LA still spawning close, but they're not really dealing with the numbers that they want at the moment. They have to wait for help.
Yeah, these gunfights are just so annoying because you know they're going to be sitting inside the hard point. You challenge out to the outer side of Palms. You have angles being held down from top cap, but they find every single kill with Ghosty leading with a double. So the final 20 in favor of the Thieves. Now you start thinking about that rotation where if you are Carolina, this is where you got to put a lot of focus on. Yeah. Because this was the difference maker last time you played them. They just simply out-rotated you, especially towards this P3 and P4. It has to be better here.
Yeah, decent idea there for Carolina with the exit eliminations, allowing Slasher to try to play for old, but it doesn't really work out as calculated because Envoy over towards New has already won a couple of key gunfights and can move his way over into our 1v1 here with Slasher. Stun will land. Slasher to the pistol. Runs out of ammunition, and Envoy will be on 3 in a row trying to flip the map.
Yeah, spawns now flip. But you already have players contesting it. Gwen just takes away top art. You're not going to be prepared for this if you are the Thieves. He's able to find one kill. Now you got to try to scatter and find the players on towards the hard point, but spawns now flip. So a great heads-up play there from Gwen to put his team on the preferred side, going for that money hill at P4, but there's still a lot of time here to fight for.
Yeah, Vivid putting a little bit of pressure on the pinch, actually pulls Ghosty away from the hard point. This is a little bait and switch right here for the Royal Ravens, but Ghosty, Envoy, pick it up nicely. Still keep the hard point relatively contested. Back and forth we go. 15 seconds of scrap time. Looking good for the Thieves as Carolina will turn tail and make their way over to P4.
Yeah, they already have that side. You just got to make sure you find a couple kills. You don't want to flip out at the wrong time. There's a lot of pressure from the Thieves already on the overextension through old P3. They find the aggressor and Hydra through the middle of the map. So first wave done. Carolina able to shut them down on their initial push.
Yeah.
LA Thieves have to regroup and find a way on in.
Yeah, they're going to try to have Hydra hit a late pinch here while the rest of the Thieves are really flooding from the bottom side of the minimap. Gwyn, the one in really the only lane that possibly could be opened up by Hydra. Slasher can't see him, so Hydra's going to find one. This is going to allow at least momentary entry for Thieves from the front, but the pinch off the back is what you're really worried about. Hydra's able to find an elimination. Does it fully block the spawns? No, it doesn't. So now it's just down to, can they take Hydra out? They do, and Thieves will have one more hit from the front, which is being handled by Gwyn.
Yeah, and Hydra made such a good play, man. He was just hoping that his teammates could find at least 1 or 2 kills because that would have spawned them all the way across the map. But when he falls, Carolina is still able to hold on to this money hill. Only 10 seconds here to fight for. Hydra's going to give it one last hoorah. He gets taken care of. Scrap, your turn. TJ Lee finds a double. So Carolina with a perfect hold there at P4 to take the lead by a slight margin.
Yeah, desperately needed. It does give them that 14-point lead, like you mentioned, but as we rotate back to P1, Thieves, decent setup around this neutral hard point. Hydra watching the front door, Envoy watching the pinch. Spawn's moving just a touch here as Scrap will spawn over towards Old. So again, the threat established. Just comes down to can the Thieves handle it as TJ's already playing off the pinch.
There's just so many angles that they have to account for, and every single angle being watched turns into a one-on-one gunfight, and they find all 4. So now the Thieves, loving the way that they are currently playing this. They know that it's a clean 4 dead, but no one in a position to try to flip those spawns immediately. So we had to try to play for a second wave of kills, but nice. Carolina, they reinforce their way on in. That's 3, make it all 4. It does not matter. Hydra finding that one-on-one spawns for LA.
Yeah, big wins right there for LA to at least give them advantage over towards P2, but TJ cleaning things up around the old time here at P1. David following behind that. Hydra on rotation as the spawns will move at a critical moment here for Carolina. Tie game, but Carolina will win the new hard points, and with that, also the new spawns.
And you already have players creating layers. Look at how far pushed up Slash is towards the front side of Cat. He's going to put himself in a very impactful situation, but just losing that gunfight towards the back end. Now opens up these spawns for the Thieves. They make it count. Every single kill in the feed lights up red. The break is good, and there's a lot of time that they can start to pull away with.
Envoy's been massive on these rotations, helping out Thieves with these late break attempts that are coming through. Hellstorm out as Vivid feels the pressure. TJ, Gwyn opening for the first 2 eliminations. Spawns will move once again. Trophy system is in place around the hill, but Ghosty's the last one left. He's already tagged down 9 HP. The hunt currently ensuing. Decent battle here from Ghosty, but better evasion from TJ as he's able to get the support to find the elimination. Scrap time going to be fought for. Hydra nearly doesn't finish off the kill that's in front of him, but this is all about rotation for Carolina as Scrap will get the last 10.
Yeah, Carolina had to invest that Hellstorm there to not allow Thieves to pull away with this game. Still only going to be a 10-point difference. They have the rotation over towards New. You have a natural pinch on the cards here. But the players that are sitting over towards R and Palace, you need to find a couple kills. Vivid, great finesse. Just simply play your life the way that you did. That leads to 2, nice. Make it 3 dead. Still in control of R and on that hard point.
Things looking decent now for Carolina. Thieves try to re-break over to P3, but for Carolina, it's about playing the macro game as we jump into a Royal Ravens listening.
Their pillar Envoy, their pillar
lobby, one shot in.
One more mid. He's their pillar hill Envoy, shoulder it.
I'm mid with you, bro. Their pillar Envoy.
Yeah, crossing right, son. Crossing right, I had twice.
I'm in mid right now.
Auto pump.
Give me a second. Is he auto pump?
Auto pump still, auto pump.
He's
shoulder in their pillar, there you go.
Auto pump dead. Pillar weak then. Not mid. One's mid, Scrap. Careful the right.
I did. He hopped on middle me.
I'm just sitting top bar still.
My hit old.
I'm trying to go.
2-0. One's going outer, one's going vote. There's 3-0. Yeah, fuck. Double spawn, I guess. You
Hydra out. My cat.
I'm gonna go right on.
I'm gonna go right on you, Hydra.
You just play like, don't worry about time right now.
He's in time. 3 on time.
In the back on me, 1 shot, bro.
Top hill.
2 in the back, 2 playing the back, 2 playing deep.
They shall be cross art. Anyway, he's back. One top. Still in the back. What's that time? Back coming?
Top hill. In the back. In the back, go see this.
I'm in the back, 1 shot. He's still trying. Still right.
Top hill. In time. Top hill. 1 spot 2. Crossing right.
Top hill. Hill.
We got spawn out. One's in the back here somewhere.
Mid on is dead.
Just 2 in time.
This is good as time, we can get it. Still top. That's the Hydra.
Weekend time.
Top.
In time, another weekend time.
Time be on the stairs. We're going challenge. We're challenge
On time.
All good. We can bring the shit back. In mid you, weak. In mid you, Scrap weak.
Left. Cat on me. Cat on, boy. I'm in. Voice cat.
And this one old. Going out right.
A small trophy too.
Old Hydra dead.
What's probably like 18 on this? That's not cat. 18.
Well, Jay, we often kind of just try to evaluate how the communication is going between players, but you could definitely feel the wind out of the sails for the Ravens trying to break that P4.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, man, because at the end of that P3 hard point with only 10 seconds left, everyone falls besides 2. So LA Thieves just bombard their way up through the street.
Wow.
They win the last 2 gunfights, and then even when Carolina gives themselves another opportunity to work back in the 3v4, that setup was so tight from the Thieves, but it was picture perfect on simply not allowing them to get in. Now all of a sudden you're up by 100. Carolina have a tall out of the climb to get back into this game, and it sort of has to start literally right now. You need to make sure you get this P2.
Yeah, it starts and finishes right here in a lot of ways for Carolina. They have to have this P2, and they're already being tested as a couple of players will spawn across the map. Thieves trying to get as much time as they possibly can here on P1, and they will find a pretty good deal of it. 100-point game. Carolina currently in control of P2, but they don't have eyes on Ghosty immediately, and actually Scrap will spawn in, but Gwyn quick to deal with the TJ following up, and Carolina will hold initially.
Yeah, I thought with the player getting too aggressive towards Cat, no one blocking towards the back, with Scrap getting that spawn, it was going to be unreadable, but Gwyn proves me wrong. And now that leads to them still holding on to this hard point. Very tight setup. Another 3-for-1 trade. 35 seconds still to fight for. You're forcing all of these to try to break this through the middle with how aggressive Slasher is. But once he falls, they can go right through the front door.
Yep, Ghosty Semtex finds the kill on the player inside the hill. So now you have to try to hope this on the cross. TJ on 3 in a row. But again, LA find a way to get in. TJ knows that there's going to be more around the outside of pool, and luckily Slasher's able to find the kill inside the hard point. But no trophy still there. Means that he's quickly traded out, and LA, they will not be able to win here, but they will be really darn close. And you can already see the movement on the map. Carolina know that they have to try to fight both things at once.
Yeah, TJ knew. All right, 8 seconds. You're usually going to think about rotation, but they're so close to the finish line. We can't give up all that time for free. An 80-point difference. Trades going back and forth over towards the street side. Slasher has been shooting straight so far on this map, but just simply gets taken down by the ARs on the side of the Thieves. Only need 14 points. All the kills go their way.
Yeah, and you've got Hydra just roaming through the middle of the map right now, meaning that Carolina has to play this one-dimensionally through street, and you can, go right over to the AR perspective of LA. Ghosty able to find one. Pinch on the way. Hydra not able to find the player right in front of him, and as Ghosty drops, it's now just down to can they find these quick kills, as LA are going to be able to reinforce very swiftly.
Yeah, they just keep on reinforcing, and that's only going to make it more difficult for Carolina because you know they have to play this time. You can't really send player on routes because now Thieves only need 10 seconds, so you can still lose it here at P3. You're still going to give them a run for their money, but one wave of kills is all Carolina needs. I just don't know if they're going to have time to find them.
Yeah, 4 seconds until the new hardpoint opens. You've already got 3 players in position again. The frustration of Carolina trying to break P4 the last time, still lingering and hurting the confidence on this break attempt. TJ trying to dash in, not going to happen. Slasher trying to follow up, also denied, and LA comfortable after the second rotation on that P4.
And that was almost the same exact score line of their first series of Major 2 qualifiers. 152 to 250. This time 151 to 250 is the final. LA Thieves is just, as soon as we jumped into that listening, that was the turning point of the game. They kept it scrappy in the beginning of that P3, but once 2 to 3 kills went their way, they took space away. You forced Carolina to at least have 2 players spawn all the way across the map, and then you easily find those last couple of players to win the rotation over towards New, hold the full 60. And Carolina just simply could not work their way back on in. LA Thieves are the best hardpoint team that we have in the game, and when those adjustments need to show, they show it there.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, both teams successful on P4 when they were able to rotate there first. Yep. But I think for me, it was more of the fact that LA, and you're going to see it in the game flow, they did a really nice job of going from the end of P4 to finding a good 20 seconds on P1 again. I mean, you talk about that being a difference of about 100 points, especially as we got through the second set of hills. P4 to P1, it was 60 plus another 20, it felt like. So, I mean, that's really got a lot of time, I think, if you're LA. I think they did a really nice job as well, kind of finding a swift break around P2 both times that we were there. I think that's also a critical thing to kind of keep in mind of, LA, not just finding success rotating, they're also finding really quick breaks.
Yeah, that's a big thing, man, because obviously in Hardpoint, you're expecting one of those categories to not really stand strong. They're phenomenal in their rotations. They hold down their hard points basically perfect, and they don't really rely on breaks. But with the talent that they have on this roster, breaks are also a big thing when they're playing from the back foot. As you can tell right here, look, the score was 110 to 120, and it was 50 seconds still here at P3. It's just they get a lot of time here at P3. They find two set of kills, even with Slasher finding that double, and then all of a sudden you blink, you're down by 100. You just cannot allow that turning point of the game to happen on the money hole involved, because then you know you're basically losing the game.
Yeah, tough scenes for Carolina because it really was a super tight game, and if they could have maybe extended a little bit longer, had a little bit more of a gap, they didn't have to like play through old and also rotate from 3 to 4 there, maybe there's an opportunity for them to actually play for rotation. But when you have to play from behind the 8 ball like that, yeah, things get out of hand very quickly. Also important to note that the SMGs were on fire for LA. Hydra and Envoy both stellar opening gap.
You see it right here when you take a look at the game flow. Like, it's 115, basically 113 at P2. P3, you allow them to get a lot of time there, take a 30-point difference. But then when you are playing so hard for that rotation towards P4, and then all of a sudden, all the gunfights that go down in the final 10 seconds, none of them go your way. Yeah. You just allowed him to continuously run away with the game, and you hit it on his head as well. Like, right there, you chain another 20 seconds towards P1. They were just chaining him, and that's due to what Carolina had to do at the end of the game. When you're down by that much, like you said, you got to do two things at the same time. Not allow them to get their dunk time, and when the rotation's over towards Snu, it was just too much to handle in map 1.
All right, well, now we get to change the conversation piece just a touch, and the narrative really starts to build towards Carolina in the search and destroy. But it's not just the fact that they're finding wins, Jay. I think it's the way that they're doing it. They are one of the best teams in opening. Dual win percentage. They're great around the objective, and it's not just on one map or another. They're doing it across the entire map pool, and that has been enlightening for Carolina to continue to be a top 4 team.
Yeah, without question, man. S&D wins you championships. Slasher had a record in the CDL before with that LAG roster of winning like 11 and 12 in a row with the roster, and nobody expected him to do it so. But now you got players like TJ. You got players like Gwyn and Vivid, who puts himself in positions to always play these clutches. They have a great understanding of how to play Team Search and Destroy. But the only thing that scares me now is that you're going up against this form of LAT, which so far throughout Major 2 qualifiers, their S&D has been basically perfect besides that one hiccup versus Falcons.
Yeah, it's been really clean, and that hiccup versus the Falcons, I don't even know if we can really call that a hiccup. That just felt like they were just throwing stuff and just seeing what they could get away with. The answer was not that much. But really, since that point, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Thieves have been rolling. A couple of 6-2 wins, a 6-3 win yesterday versus Cloud9 New York, who I think you and I were both really high on, not just because they were finding their stride, but they were doing it across all 3 modes. So it's really impressive, I think, to see the way that LA was able to win yesterday with some pretty, I would say, good confidence. I mean, yeah, the map 1 loss is kind of whatever, is pretty tight game, all things told, but everything else after that was not. It was just a Thieves runaway. So I think that's something to kind of be a little bit scared of if you are Carolina. The good news is you are going to a Hacienda, which is not one of the usual suspects for Thieves, whereas for Carolina, it hasn't really been part of their map pool a lot, but when it was first added, it was a staple for them, especially in Minor 1.
Yeah, you can already see into this round number 1. LA Thieves are going to be the team on the attacking side. Envoy finds that first blood. So early numbers advantage in favor of them, but Gwyn with the response makes it a 3v3. But look at the space already that Thieves are able to take. They rotate over. They realize all the pressure's at this side. Let's just go plan it at the opposite.
Yep. Scrap, good read on this. Yeah, good for 2. One more around the corner. No, Gwyn able to find the shutdown. Leaves him for a 1v2 situation to follow up. This would be a 1v3 in overall, but Hydra's right there, bottom side bar to find the elimination and steal the round.
And the craziest stat when I was looking at the numbers today for LAT is the fact that they have basically been flawless on all their attacking rounds. Doesn't matter the map. Besides that one versus Vegas Falcons, we're not counting that one. But every other S&D, like, they have not lost an attacking round. And it's just beautiful to see out of LA because we saw it in Major 1 and all of Stage 1. Like, they would have so much space that they could play with, but they would never take advantage of the space that they were given. Right now, they realize, okay, no one is at this site. I'm instantly going to plan it. We're going to play post-man. We're also 100% in that category as well once we get it down. So they're just taking advantage of the things that are thrown at them and running away with it.
Looking really solid, looking really clean. Opening battle over towards the open hall. Forced as Hydra comes in, looking for the support from the grenades, but Gwyn wins the first. Slasher over to the top will find another, but keep your eye on Envoy. Playing over towards Lambeau's side, he could come up behind this play.
Oh, and Envoy's in the perfect position to at least find one, almost find the second onto Gwyn. But now leaves Scrap in a 1v2. Carolina gonna play this patient. He's gonna have open right in front of him.
Gets away, but down to 6 HP, trying to elude as best he possibly can, but the chase down is good in Carolina, able to respond quickly. And that's just a really good manipulation from Gwyn initially, because he was out to be naded beyond recognition, but him finding the first, Slasher supporting, a key difference maker in the opening battle.
Yeah, first blood there was magnificent from Gwyn. The nades, you see how hard Thieves are trying to respond and turn it into a 3v3, but the cover fire even better for Carolina. Keep the numbers on their side. And even in the 1v2, just being in a position with the preferred weapon up close and personal, able to secure the round, tie the game.
What's the next design here for LA? Ghosty gonna try to make his move over towards A. Trophy system to try to give some illusion that there could be a hit at A, but Slasher up top finds the opener on to Scrap it. Envoy the bomb carrier drops on secret stairs. So any intention of trying to fool this Carolina defense has been snuffed out just by raw aggression.
Yeah, that's perfect. You find the initial 2 kills, taking away top secret. Already in the play. That bomb is most likely going to go over towards A. You're also able to locate Hydra, even though a team kill does go down. 3v1 now for Ghosty.
Obviously has an idea that some of the Ravens are over towards secret. Clean shots onto Slasher. No immediate follow-up, so Ghosty will get the reset. Plenty of time if you want to try to change the angle up as well.
Yeah, Ghosty already knows, Alan, that they most likely have the bomb down. That's why they're playing as tight as they are. Now they have given up that information. And with 30 seconds left, I don't know if Ghosty's going to waste a lot of time trying to locate where they are.
Oh. Just over the top were Gwyn and Vivid, but Ghosty now has an SMG to play with 20 seconds on the clock. Re-clears out the top secret halls, and he's going to get a Planet A. This is very realistic that he could pull this off. Just comes down to what do the Ravens do on this rotation coming back. They're going to stay on the high ground, move towards window, but Ghosty will be unseen as he makes his way back through connector, but Vivid holds his ground through the window to make sure he can catch the rotation and finds the kill.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just make sure in the 2v1, we're playing the exits. All right, we spot him, make sure we try to trap him in, but Vivid in the perfect position to catch him off the rotation through bottom connector. Gave himself an opportunity, though. Just didn't really choose the right exit angle. But Carolina set the tone there on that defense. That's the first attacking round besides the entire Skyline that they have lost so far in Major 2 qualifiers. And it's just simply just not allowing the Thieves to do what they want. You don't get top secret, you can't play an A. You find the opening first blood, you got to slow it down. And Carolina just played to perfection after that.
2 rounds in a row here for Carolina, back onto the attack. And they're just going to run it over through Fountain. AR's up top, trying to get some supporting fire in. Gwyn trying to force the first blood versus Hydra as the trades exist over the top of the window battle. Big 1v1 here. Hydra gets the better of Gwyn initially, but Gwyn keeps his aim locked. That's enough for an advantage now as 2v2 will develop, but the defense has to come back to the play, and Gwyn's going to get timing here on the Ghosty.
Perfect timing to turn it into 1v2, but Envoy in position to potentially find the trades. Only able to get one, though. The double chow good enough. 2 versus 1 is always going to put yourself in the advantage. And again, just Carolina with the aggression, not allowing the Thieves to settle into their defensive setups. See what it had to do to Hydra, backs him all the way up. I thought Hydra was going to win that one-on-one gunfight, but even if he did, there was a player from Carolina right behind him to make the trade. But just early tone setting into these rounds, Thieves are just not prepared, not ready.
No, yeah. And again, the design is perfect. The execution is perfect in terms of the breakoff from Carolina in that round. For a moment, it looked like Hydra was going to get away, maybe even reset the gunfight. And if he wins that, the round looks very different. But Gwyn is on 7-3, winning a couple of massive individual moments. As LA, this time, with the support of the trophy system, will commit to A. But keep your eye on both TJ and Gwyn. They have gotten through the middle of the map, and they are behind the play.
They're super fast, too, so I don't think that Scrap is going to be aware of this. He's going to get dropped for free. Slasher on the opposite side finds a second instant 4v2, but Hydra finds one.
Yep, and this is all about can Vivid stay alive. He's seen one go over towards Tim. That's massive information for this Carolina defense on the retake. Gwyn able to hit Hydra easy. Now it's just down to Envoy from top side window. Knows he has to be cautious of any players coming through patio side. Here's the door to open up. Envoy with the stun play, but no, TJ from behind finds the kill, and Carolina continue to string them together.
They're doing fantastic work off the back of that first blood, but just knowing your opponents is sometimes a little bit better. They have played this team on this same exact map, in the same situation in a map 2, down 0-1. So they went back and just simply watched that. They don't really change up their strategy so far. All right, they've been a lot of consistent of just pushing towards top secret, being aggressive on that A plant, but this time Carolina do not wait. You take a lot of space, you realize the play immediately, and you just basically trap them in toward that A site and don't allow them to get on out. 3 rounds in a row now for Carolina, starting to pull away.
Yeah, really are. And it's just LA cannot get their game plan going at all at the moment. Lots of credit to what Carolina have been able to put together, and they're going to go to a very heavy A hit here in round number 6. Stun will land before the trophy system comes down. LA will get a little bit of information. There is some aggression towards A. Do they get a read on Gwyn's position, though? Playing in towards secret at the moment. Follow-up stuns are decent, but do they see Gwyn? Yeah, Hydra catches him just in the nick of time, and now it's numbers for LA.
Now you have them trapped. You already have players putting them in the bed on the backside towards spiral steps. Trapped over towards this A side. Scrap finds the second kill onto Vivid. Instant 4v2. TJ is also going to fall. So now it's Slasher left in the 1v4. Has to find one, but instantly going to be traded. Thieves with the adjustments. Able to secure the defensive round. But you can see, like, Carolina, they knew they couldn't plan A because we didn't have Secret. So by the time we were going to attempt it, when Ghost tried to take that positioning, but 2 players from the Thieves were able to take care of him and just instantly shut down their play call. Thieves able to stop the bleeding. 4-2 now.
Yeah, I felt like one of those rounds that Carolina is hoping that with the trophy system, if it denies the opening nades, LA will have questions if there's a hit there, rather than the stun actually landing and they know that someone's there. Because Gwyn's playing on secret stairs. He's trying to delay the hit to window as LA have to check if there's a hit over the top of A. So that stun not being denied by the trophy system, massive in terms of LA finding an advantage and stopping what Carolina were designing. And here we go. We got some quick action over through Rock Hall. Opening exchange decent. Ghosty still trying to force the issue, but Carolina find every single elimination. Ghosty the last one left for what would be a 1v3.
Yeah, 1v3 technically. 1v2 now with 1:05 to work with. So much time to develop on some long routes. He's going to take a sweet angle pushing through this A site. Slash and Vivid going to run around as an army of 2. Don't know if they have the information that the bomb is down, but there's going to be no action for at least another 10, 15, maybe 30 seconds.
It might be the rest of the round, Jade, at this point. It's going to be very quiet over the top of Hacienda. And Carolina have picked their battleground, and they are going to lock in, playing just outside of Lambeau right here on checkers. Slasher watching one angle, Vivid the other, both playing very tight corners. Stray nade gets tossed over towards B, doesn't really do much to influence Ghosty. He sees Vivid, opening shots are there, Slasher holding the corner, Ghosty able to predict it but can't lock down enough to get the kill.
Just a perfect blind counter right there from Carolina. 3 stack over to the A site. Every single player from LA try to approach over towards Rock, but TJ finding a double instantly puts the numbers advantage in favor of Carolina. As we take a look at it again, the snap for the first, he was a little bit weak. But then the snap for the second, while the stun connects onto Scrap, even better. He's always been a phenomenal search and destroy player. Has another moment added to the tally. And now Carolina at point game.
Yep. What do you call here? TJ looking like he wants to go over towards Rock Hall. LA fully stacked. In and up through office. One player down low. Slasher able to find the opener. Gwyn in a little bit of trouble, but it's a trade that favors LA. TJ the only one not a part of the mix, and he's going to try to wrap office quick. The timing here could give him a little bit of an advantage.
And if you're Hydra, hopefully you got that info that the bomb is going to be down towards top open. Potentially set up around it, but him and Scrap do not want to get bad timing here. Just consistently going back and forth. TJ's a bad timing, not going to be able to spot them.
Yeah, does get an AR to play with, though, just in case. TJ, now here's his moment. First shots are decent, but Hydra responds perfectly. LA stay alive, and the opening mix up top was messy.
Yeah, finally they won him an opening mix like that, because it's been all out of Carolina the entire time, walking away with those engagements on their side. But this time the Thieves put themselves in a number advantage. Played the bomb down info and then cast the timing onto TJ. Able to stay alive in this search and destroy. Now they're going back to their attacking side where, truthfully, this has been where they have shown the most improvements. It's just the way that Carolina have been able to counter them so far. You're probably going to have to hit them with a little switcheroo for 2.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that Gwyn at one point was 7-3. He's just 9-6 now, so he's also been kind of countered from finding that early success. And Carolina are going to play a passive setup, at least around A and middle, largely because, well, they've got the RC. Does get destroyed quickly, so Vivid will understand there is some sort of a threat here at A. But the question mark is, what can Hydra do from this position? His timing is going to be everything.
Okay, he's able to find the first blood onto Gwyn on the hop up. So numbers advantage in favor of the Thieves. You have TJ going on the super route on the backside of Lambeau. He's going to be met with the likes of Envoy. He loves to hit that kind of route. 2v4, 2v3 now.
Vivid able to find one, keep his life, slip away, but this is so much you have to clear, and Slasher almost able to barrel stuff Hydra. Doesn't happen, though, in LA. Starting to put them together.
Yeah, they take space that time. When they approach over towards A, they realize, okay, no one towards top secret. Last time they instantly worked the pinch, so Hydra did not allow that to be the case. Gets aggressive through top secret. Finds an angle on Gwyn, trying to jump up to top mid. For that first blood, bomb goes down. And then Envoy just on the pinch, knowing that TJ's most likely going to try to hit a deep route to make up for the numbers. He's able to instantly turn it into a 4v2. Back-to-back rounds now for Thieves, force round 10.
Carolina going to go back over to the same A strategy. This is where Gwyn was, again, trying to play off the staircase. This is the exact same setup, but this time the trophy system does get down. RC will get the read that the hit is on over towards A, so they don't have to check from the window position. You've got a long route happening around the back.
No.
Scrap, a key first blood. Bomb is planted. It's got to be Gwyn, and he gets found in the back line. LA now with the numbers on their retake.
Oh, but look, Slasher trying to make up for it. 3 pits over towards fences. You're just going to leave him alone. If you're Hydra, someone instantly hopped the defuse. I got a shoulder. He's not going to kill me. We're going round 11.
Wow. Unbelievable from LA. It's the exact same play call that Carolina pulled a couple offenses ago. This time they don't get revealed by a stun, and they think that that's going to work out, but the RC, the difference maker, gets the read. You don't have to worry about playing from top window. If you're LA, you've got a long route around the back, and Gwyn, who is supposed to be responsible for it, just gets caught on spiral stairs. Yeah, round 11. Here we go.
Yeah, the RC car was a big part. Shuts down all of their initial play call, but the fact that CJ just gave up his life away for free like that gives the advantage to the Thieves. You send 2 players deep on the pitch to catch Gwyn, and then just the numbers advantage on your side. Now we're in this round 11. Carolina on the offense. They might just want to go with the aggression because that's what's been working.
How many ARs are they going to pull for this one? No, it's just going to be TJ Gwyn trying to play over through open halls. LA playing down low this time. Scrap able to find first blood through office stairs. But TJ does get through. Do they know there's a player on barrel? I don't believe they do. Ghosty's going to elect to just use the doors as his alarm system for any play up top at the office. There's the push through. Ghosty finds the kill, and he expects there might be another Raven just up top.
And now in the 4v2, information gained onto 1. But you just got to take care of Gwyn. Now information gained on the both. How do we find these kills together?
RC coming back over towards Arches, finds some damage. Hydra trying to follow up off of it. Gwyn just gonna hold. Slasher trying to work with him. But this is taking time, and at some point you're gonna have to plant. Hydra reveals his position. Gwyn coming back to the bomb site. If they commit for a plant, Scrap can win the map right here, but no, there's patience. Scrap absolutely smokes him. Just down to Slasher. 1v3, 20 seconds. Finds the first cleanly, but doesn't have the bomb. This is gonna take too much time, Jay.
He's got to go. He's got to go. You got to recover the bomb. You got to get it instantly down at B, but Scrap is going to be ready and waiting for you to get it down.
And there he is. Kill number 7 in a row from 5-2 down. LA pull 4 away swiftly. TJ's left scratching his head. They were dominating. And then all of a sudden, they weren't.
LAT just started to match that pressure. They started to match the aggression through the map. They started to use those RC cars off the back of multiple first bloods that they found in those later half rounds. And we're just playing their numbers to their advantage. It helps when you're the team on the attack. Back to that round number 10, Carolina. We're instantly trying to work their way over towards A. RC car shuts them down, but TJ instantly falls. Final round here. You send everyone through the middle of the map. Scrap again finds another first blood. Towards that right side, you're forcing Carolina to try to make up for it. And then if you're the Thieves, we're happy as hell to let you plant the bomb. It's okay. You can plant it. We'll retake it with our numbers. But the fact that Carolina knew we're most likely not going to have opportunities to do that, they try to make up for it. And every single player from LA, we're in the perfect position to watch them on the way on out. 4 rounds in a row in that search and destroy. They go up 2-0 in the series, Alan. Unreal plays right there.
It's just one of those things that as soon as the Thieves can get their playbook going, it's just lights out from there. Yeah. Unbelievable. There's something in the water in this matchup where Carolina just cannot figure out the Thieves, but we'll head back to the desk, see if they can spark some inspiration before we get to the control.
Can we just pause for a moment and appreciate the fit from Alan right now? The man is on point today. Jay, you look good.
Jay, you look good too, bro.
Yeah, just not as.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, all right, let's break down these games because that was a 5-2 fold from Carolina. Yeah. You shouldn't have allowed LA Thieves back. Scrap and Hydra proving they're too dangerous. Walk me through it.
Yeah, so, I mean, you saw what was happening inside Carolina in that search and destroy. Like, they would send Gwyn through the bottom lobby. You would get up top, and, like, they would retake on the fences, and TJ would go for wide flank simultaneous. Yeah. And they just made a couple of micro tweaks if you're on the side of LA Thieves. Like, Hydra pushed up up to the window, would take his time, and then just instantly turn around to find Gwyn.
Yeah. Let's take a look at our highlights from map number 1. It was even for the first 60 seconds for each team, Allie, but then LA Thieves start to put on the gas pedal.
Yeah, once we got into that second set of rotation, it was just an absurd P1 hold from the side of LA Thieves, which is funny because they had no hallway control. And I even looked at Ant and I was like, nah, Carolina's got to break this up at some point. They've got nobody controlling the hallways, but they read every single angle that Carolina was trying to make that break from. And from then on, like, they were able to chain over to that P2 and get a really clean break onto that P2. And then the P4s also really hurt the side of Carolina Royal Ravens. They had the early rotations, but it just didn't matter. They sent 2 players pushed up mid. Both those players fall. Now you only have 2 people left on the backside of P4, and you have all of LA Thieves pushing through P3 to shut them down. So a couple of mistakes from side Carolina.
I actually think Carolina played it good in that situation. I think what went wrong was Envoy just gunned somebody. You're supposed to die in the hill there. Envoy wins a big gutty there. But yeah, let's jump into this map too, which I think is like just a huge story. I mean, Carolina up 5-2. Everything was working out in their favor, and Gwyn and TJ were finding so much success. LA Thieves just became aware of it, and it wasn't like a huge change that they made. Like Hydra still went up top through Secret, turns around, he's just able to find Gwyn, and then just playing the timing. Like, they're helping their team on bomb, and then after 15 seconds go by, we're gonna turn around, and then we're gonna start playing for Teach because we know he's trying to make a play, trying to go for a long flank. It was awesome to see LA Thieves sort of digging their bag and figure out how we're gonna beat this team because it's so tough when you're converting from all sides like that.
And it happened from just them getting that one attack round, because from the side of Carolina Royal Ravens, their retakes were unreal. But from the side of the LA Thieves, like, they couldn't get an attack round under their belt, but their defenses were incredibly strong. So the fact they were able to get that one attack to start the momentum rolling, the LA Thieves defenses, the reason that's so important, they're worst in the league right now in defense right now. So I'm happy to see they were able to make a huge turn.
The funniest thing about this is round 11, guess what happens to Slasher? LA Thieves playing for picks.
Playing for
picks. And that's how they win that final round, man. That is tough.
Yeah, those first blocks for everything.
Getting it done in Search and Destroy once again. It was a round 11, but LA rallies to a 2-0 lead. Is it back-to-back 3-0s over Carolina? It's looking like it because we have Hacienda control coming up next. Carolina recently, good or bad on this map, Allie? You got the numbers.
Oh, no, they've been good. This is probably one of their stronger. I mean, they're strong across all the controls. Ant touched on it earlier. So they don't mind playing it. But from the flip side of things for LA Thieves, like, they're a top 2 attack team, top 2 defense team. So this is just going to be a battle.
And let's take a look at some of the numbers when it comes to top slayers. You are witnessing a bunch of them, but the best right now is this guy. KD ranked number 1 with a 1.43 here. That is a difference.
85%? That's what Hydra told us. He said he's at 85% right now. 1.43 is 85%?
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about his team playing around. Like 85% of the time they're playing around him. Listen, but I know Jay's sitting there ear-to-ear grin right now. He's a big Hydra fan. Yeah, Hydra has stepped up from last stage into this one. Could be the big difference for them when they do eventually get that matchup versus Atlanta FaZe. But right now they got to take care of business. They're 5-2 on Hacienda control. You look across though, Carolina, one of the other better control teams in the world. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
1.43?
That's what I'm saying.
After a 1.04, can he get better than this? Let's find out how many kills he drops. Hydra, 42. That's my guess.
42? Wow, that's a
control, he's
statement.
got it.
I'm here for that prediction, Chris. Oh my. Wow, that would be nuts. But I think the thing is, these are the top 2 teams by rank right now in control. I think Allie's absolutely right. You can look at the numbers, and it's pretty much the same across the board. It's just slight edges here and there, I think, for Thieves, because on both sides of the zone, they're playing really hot right now.
Oh, yeah, they're unbelievable. I think the one that I want to hone in on the most is their attacking side, where they're able to outslay teams and also average 5 segments on each attacking round. That is insane. Because on a map like Hasi, you usually put into that trap, but the good thing for them is that they have those raw, talented players who know how to finesse their life, know with the timings off the respawns, so they're always going to put themselves in the ideal situation. And the reason why I say their attacks scare me is because Carolina, they're great at defense. They outslay teams by like 7 to 8 kills every single time, only allow maximum 2 ticks per attacking rounds, but this is just a different beast in LA. I'm pretty certain Wheeler touched on it on the Destiny. He was saying sometimes you're just simply going to get talent diff, and this might be one of those cases because LAT can slay with the best.
It's definitely been one of those things in this matchup in particular. Like, considering that Carolina has been a top 4 team in every event we've had essentially to this point, they have yet to win more than just a single map versus the Thieves in their 2 attempts squaring up. So there's just something in this matchup that feels a little bit different, as this opening couldn't be more perfect for the Thieves. Already over towards A. Scrap says not interested. We've got high ground control. Let me get some free progress at B. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we find all the kills to the little map. We know where Carolina going to spawn deep as hell away from that B point. So let's earn some free segments while Hydra's already working on the pinch. First segment locked. Here come Hydra potentially for a double movement. Good enough there from Quinn to shut that down. Second segment locked in though.
And the thing about it is you've already have Ghosty reheated a pinch, so it's going to slow down this Carolina retake attempt. And as the eliminations come through, Envoy finding 2 of them, that will be a very quick capture of the B zone. Still, map to play with for Scrap off of the exit. You'll only find one. Gets a read that, yep, it's boathouse spawns, and that means that LA could keep their focus forward as they jump on the A zone.
Yeah, they're already on A, and you got Scrap hitting and Nooses behind enemy lines. Funding another freebie off of the respawn. Nice, hoping that his teammates can find the rest through the middle of the map area. Hydra effective on the trade, at least secures that first segment, but he knows there's a lot of players surrounding him. Let me just finesse a little bit.
Oh, nice movement there from Hydra, able to get a key win versus TJ. Slasher in the corner goes unnoticed by Ghosty. And that's enough for Carolina to get at least some defensive pressure forward towards LA spawns. The problem here is still so much clock to play with. Slasher helps out a lot with the double he finds, but Hydra just at the back line will make sure that the Carolina Ravens have to go find him.
Yeah, this is what Hydra just has to do for his team. He just needs to bank on them finding a couple kills off the exit. It already starts with the one onto Slasher. You have Gwen in a position to potentially contest them through bottom secret, but Envoy, he knows I like to hit those plays too. You're not gonna catch me lacking. Spots him out, and now you take care of him. Everybody cleared out of your base. This is a scary moment for Carolina.
Yep, you can just fully surround and envelop this control point. Ghosty able to get on, help the stack out. It's Vivid up top to find one. Clears off just one member. There's the follow-up. Vivid and Gwyn able to save the day just in the nick of time. But Hydra up top on 4 in a row. Still able to keep his life. Looking for kill number 5, but instead decides, I got to play through. Make sure this Carolina defense doesn't get too far forward.
And this guy's been alive for like 2 minutes, man. Finally, Vivid off the respawn is able to take care of him. And Carolina have a little bit of stability now. Into the round, a minute left to work with. TJ, can you find a double? Instantly gonna shut down their play, and that's such a huge double, even with him being traded, because that layer just creates Thieves a situation where they're gonna waste a lot more time to even get close towards that.
Yep, it also brings our life lead back down now to even, with Slasher finding that elimination over the top of P4. Vivid also creating problems on this rotation as he stops the overextension through B. Nice shutdown there from LA, gives him a little bit of ground to work with. Wind right through Secret in a little bit of trouble, but Dances finds himself a corner, and he's got help around the outside of fences in the form of Vivid. 20 seconds. LA have gotten out. A little shadow tracking there from Vivid. Looking for the double, spins away and finds Ghosty. Over towards now the top side of ledge. Clock will pause at 10.4, but it's a 3v4. What a challenge from Envoy. The follow-up from Scrap is good. Just down to Slasher. Only finds one. Can't get to the zone. LA take the opening offense.
You just don't give them an opportunity to slide and initially start those engagements on their end. You know, we've already cleared out the players in our spawn. They all have to be working from wide and probably through top office. But they had the numbers advantage, and they just sent it to them. But LA, one of the best attacking teams that we have on Hasi, show it there initially to start it off. Got a little bit scary towards the middle half of that round when Slasher and TJ started to get aggressive and put players in a little bit of a spawn trap. But LA Thieves just looked for one opportunity. You start with eliminating those players in the base, and you just stack the point knowing that everybody off the respawn has to play a little bit more cautious. LA, 1-0.
Yeah, getting the 2 ticks of progress as quickly as they did prior to that final push was everything for LA. Ghosty going to carry a 3 spree into this next round as Carolina just mad dash their way over to Fountain. Trophy system to help support this. TJ, slow start for him, but finds the key elimination to keep himself on the zone. But the problem is the ARs have already dominated the hallways for LA.
Yeah, now they leave TJ by himself. All right, TJ, it's okay. You can slowly work up a progression there. And a big gunfight win onto Envoy. But now you sort of got to get on this point. I hope your teammates find the kills. And Vivid and Slasher both win one-on-one gunfights. So first segment might be guaranteed at A. And they're also going to be approaching B.
Yeah, this is looking good here for Carolina. TJ's going to really kind of split the focus. Vivid up top needs to keep his life. Hold on to this window while Slasher sits on the zone with a trophy to help him stay alive. More shots over through patio side. Not able to follow up on this, though, or LA at the moment. TJ off the pinch, able to find one. Tries to slide away. Hydra for the trade. Now diving into the point. Slasher backside fence is dealt with. The SMGs for LA are relentless. 24 plays 21, and Scrap is in your spawn.
Scrap's already in your base, and he's able to find two. Not able to get away with his life, but that's already job well done. Only 2 segments on the side of Carolina, and everyone trapped in their base. The SMGs just keep on being so damn annoying. Finally, you're able to take down Hydra, and with 40 seconds left, you gotta go B. You gotta go do well.
And now Ghosty, late pinch. Ooh, big shutdown by Gwyn. Scrap watching from window. Envoy able to find one up top, and actually, LA will miss this hit over through B. Scrap was in a really good spot initially, but he's going to back off, allows the clock to stop at 28.6. Envoy on a killing spree. Hydra with a little turn as Scrap was able to assist. Just leaves it to 1. It's Vivid around the point, and he will not be able to do anything. Second tick doesn't even get fully confirmed. It gets depleted a touch, but the biggest question is, can Carolina even see a zone again?
Yep, they got 15 seconds, and I'll have to start by taking care of Scrap through mid-open. He at least finds one before falling. Better trays there out of TJ, but Ghosty and Envoy able to jump themselves into the play. Now Envoy gonna have fun off the respawn on 7 in a row. 3 seconds remaining. Can he stay alive to potentially earn their cruise? Yes, he does. LA Thieves. Just way too much to handle, Alan. It's as simple as that. When you're thinking, okay, we got 2 kills. All right, that's Scrap and Ghosty. But Hydra and Envoy, with their aggression out of the SMGs, they keep on making plays with those guns and just don't allow Carolina to have a stable ground in these setups. 2-0 in favor of LA. They are running away with this one.
Yeah, confidence has got to be through the roof right now for LA. And on the other side, you can see the dejected faces of Carolina. They know that this is not going to be an easy 3 rounds in a row, plus another 2 maps after that, if they were to pull off what it would be a giga reverse sweep here. But Envoy carries the 8 spree in. You already talked about the streak being earned. Ghosty's on 4, and it's just going to be a flat-out mad dash to B. Just a little heat check, see if we can get away with one, and so far, so good as Envoy finds 9.
And this is a different break-off on this attacking round. Last time it was LA Thieves just taking top mid away and then rotating their way over towards B. So that's sort of what Carolina tried to play for. This time they sent every single player over through well. First second about to be guaranteed. There is a contest here from Gwyn and TJ. But Slasher finding that double doesn't allow that first segment to get locked. And now Hydra's in his happy place.
Catches a stun right in his lap. Still almost able to find the first gunfight. But office control will be held by Carolina. Scrap on the pinch. Confident rotation from him. Able to find one for free. But Carolina has snuck forward. Vivid coming back to the play, but Scrap says not today. Shut down by TJ makes this clock keep on ticking, and okay, decent work here for Carolina on defense.
Yeah, Envoy just has to get something done from top flag. Could have jumped right over Gwyn. Not be ready for that one. With only 30 seconds left, big double from Gwyn to shut down that SMG pressure. Now you can keep these players trapped in. No one watching the oversection through Rock, though. You're going to be in a good position if you are Slasher, but you're just going to give it on up.
Yeah, stuns and nades really well done. Just, again, shutting down any point of entry for LA. Envoy behind the play. Has to get onto the zone and likely win this 1v1, which he doesn't even really need to get shot back out again. So now you're going to get 14.2 in the clock. Likely to get the extra 60 with Carolina spawning Boathouse and all 4 LA members on the point.
Yeah, that was a beautiful route there from Envoy. He was the only player to work with that overextension through Rock side. Slasher doesn't pick it up, so he's able to walk behind enemy lines. And his teammates at the same time find kills. Now they all of a sudden have an extra minute to work with. But Carolina immediately on the exit are able to find 3 of the 4. Last player alive is going to be Ghosty. And now you have Slasher already contesting the spawners.
Yeah, good shutdown by TJ. Pressure for Carolina. Already top spiral. Big win from Vivid. Envoy through Secret. Able to see TJ. And wasn't sure if he was going to actually commit to those shots or not. But decides to reveal his position. Carolina now move around just a touch. LA finding some space to get out of spawn here, though. And this could lead to Envoy making a play if he decides to follow up on this action over through connector.
Yeah, and Envoy puts down those shots to top secret to try to get his player in Scrap in a better position. But once they sniff him out, LA Thieves now take that mid-map away. So they're slowly trying to just stay on this A point. Only 30 seconds to go. Scrap just gonna hop right on off. No one and his teammates don't have all the map control.
Yeah.
But Hydra finding that double. First segment already locked.
Yeah, he shuts down the connector play, and now Envoy's around the other side, and Hydra finds another. You've got a chance to stack here if you're LA. 3 players are on. 2 ticks are in. Trophy system to keep him safe. Quinn finds one. The re-entry trying to come through, but LA still on the zone, and they will finish it off through capture. Oh my goodness. This was supposed to be the best and second best teams in control, and LA said, nah, it's just us.
Man, like, that's why they haven't really played Hasi all of Major 2 qualifiers, because we saw it at Major 1 towards the end. Like, when in the beginning when it got added, like, they were dominant at it. So you didn't really want to square up on them. They've been playing a lot of Vault, they've been playing a lot of Protocol, but finally get Hasi back into the mix. But you probably don't want to square up with this team with how effective they are. Their ARs are able to slay, their SMGs are able to get lost. And then all they're looking for is 1 to 2 opportunities. 1 double kill goes our way. We have everything covered at that point. They just simply do not make a majority of their mistakes in the respawn game modes. Stat lines don't really stand out to you, but I'm pretty sure if we added a stat here of like how long one of your lives lasted, Hydra had multiple moments where he stayed alive for a minute. Same thing could be said for Envoy. Same thing could be said for even Ghosty working on those deep pinches. LA Thieves are just simply the better team in this series. They outclassed them from map 1 all the way to map 3. And now they move on to the finals here at Minor 2. They're Carolina though, like, I don't really know. That S&D, you're gonna come back and you're gonna think like, we went to 5-2. We were doing everything right. We found a whole bunch of success early on with our first bloods, but then they started to take that away from us. They just really couldn't adapt. So take a look at the maps and modes. It was a replay from the last series that they played on the opening vault, a replay on the Hasi. Last time it was a 6-2, this time a 6-5 with 4 rounds in a row.